And it was a stabbed finish. Not sure if it would have been on target, but we aren't to know because of McCoy's interception.
Yeah, but I feel Dean Andre Thomas there. I felt he should have just opened his body, not the right part of the foot. Good quick start by the goalkeeper. Some say it's always good to have a goalkeeper who's looked to start the game. There I felt he should have just opened his body up, just carrying it with the instep. Just needed to open up and use the inside of the foot to just pass it into goal. At that point, he needed to have opened up his body and looked to go. Maybe he was looking to set up the Rastaman. It looked like it was to set up the Rastaman there, yes.
Yeah, thanks director for that angle, because which is why I saw him berating Kimoni Bailey after the play, as if he were saying that the run you gave me was not good enough. So it was a pass with the outside of the right foot, because his slow reaction, slow to open his body up to give him the shooting option, meant he had to go for the pass because there was no angle for the shot, and he didn't fancy a left-footed effort from that angle. Anyway, Dunbeholden being dangerous early. Here in the back is Damian Thomas. Leaves it to Nelson, who has come a long way deep to get on the ball. Powell exchanges passes with Bailey. Powell looks for Thomas's run. Dean Andre Thomas on the sprint, but he gives up because he realizes he doesn't have the wheels to get to it and to get past the big Lorenzo McCoy. Still gives Powell the thumbs up for the idea. The execution left a lot to be desired. So McCoy, they call him Rasta. Looks to me like he's a dreadlocks, but I can't tell you what you are. Josie Wales was a Rasta man, but he was a bald head.
It's all in the heart,
it's all in the heart. There you go. Bailey gets high. Sutherland intercepts. Still Bailey for. And Bailey, did he try an effort on goal? It's gone out for a throw, but rather enterprising from Kimoni Bailey, cutting in on the left foot.
I think he had option in front of him. Thomas was there as well. Just got a little bit excited because he got a chance to juggle and do well.
Dice sent to the touchline by referee Tummings. Seems to be, let's see if there's a problem with a wound or something that he needs to staunch the bleeding. Oh, it's a socks. It's a socks. You heard the referee warning them. Actually, it was one of his assistants who said the socks have to be uniform.
Yes.
So Dice was wearing red and white socks, and the assistant said it's white. There you go. So he's celebrating Valentine's Day early, it seems. And Dice doing some running repairs on the sidelines. So he's putting the tape to mask it. Masking tape, masking it, pun intended. Yeah, there you go. Let's see if it hides it.
Damien Hyatt seeking some, maybe just want to allow his teammate to come back. Clever. Doesn't want to play with 10 players. The goalkeeper does know that once he goes down, the game have to stop.
Yep.
As coaches, we do that sometimes, and we want to get something across. We do it from training time, and we say anytime you see, we get up and we do something.
Bailey also has the problem. So Dice, Bailey. I see Dean Andre Thomas adjusting his here. I see McPherson adjusting. It's about half of the This is not good enough though, because the assistant did point it out. So unless they thought the rule wouldn't have been enforced.
I think what happened to George is that these players modern time, they cut the socks, so it's not all the way down to the foot. So it's just the upper part of the up on the shin, those areas that are really
like from
in
the top
place.
of the ankle up.
Yes. So the socks is cut, and then they put on an ankle socks below that, and that's the red color that we're looking at.
Well,
I think the only way they could get away with it was if every player had that red showing in that area.
So it was uniform.
It was uniformed, yes, but not the case.
There you go. All right, so I think Dice is ready. Is he?
No, I think the right foot is still showing.
Yeah, this is farcical, but smart on Damien Hyatt's part to give his team some time to get back up. He's back up. Dice is waiting to come back on. Kimoni Bailey's back on, and yeah, so Dunbeholden are back to full complement. Good on Damien Hyatt to recognize the situation as the captain and to buy his team some time.
But maybe he didn't do his work as a captain before when he was told to make sure it's uniformed.
Yes, sir.
So that's why he took responsibility, you feel.
Sutherland's header is weak, and Thomas got some studs there, maybe from Dwayne Smith. So we're into the 8th minute. We had a long stoppage for some wardrobe issues fixed by the Dunbeholden players. We're back. So Harrison, as I noted, has been around the block. Peter Harrison, the goalkeeper for Molynes. I'll run through his various clubs at the earliest opportunity. Winter clips this forward to Brown. Brown forward, asking a lot of Stewart, asking too much of Stewart. And Hyatt will allow this to run outside for a goal kick. So Peter Harrison has played for Cavalier, has played for Arnett Gardens, has played for Humble Lion, has played for Tivoli Gardens, been in the league since 2012. Peter Harrison, 33 years old this year, and has pitched up now at Molynes, trying to play some good football. Stewart on the chase, but Phillips gets back and gets there ahead of him. This is McPherson in the back for Dunbeholden. Their two midfield generals are on the bench today, and I wonder why. Both Fabian McCarthy and Nicoy Christian. So here's McPherson, robbed by Stewart. Stewart into the box. The cross comes in. Ooh, and the connection was made with the shot from Nicholas Nelson, but he only feathered that ball when he needed to have a firm connection. It was a good pass from Stewart into the right area. And Nelson seems to may have hurt himself. Maybe the pride hurt more than anything else, because that was a presentable chance, Dwight, that was passed up by Molynes.
Yeah, it was a beautiful opportunity for Molynes to go ahead in this contest. Like I said, they don't normally have opportunity, but he was under pressure. If you give him credit for that, really was always tracked and made it difficult for him there, I think.
Yeah, but the man, he was goal side of the man tracking him though, Dwight.
True.
So I know, well, you're the one who's supposed to be giving him a hard time, because you're the coach. You're usually very, very harsh, but I'm saying he was goal side of his defenders. I'm thinking he gets the ball before the defender because he was ahead of him.
He was ahead of him, but maybe the defender was on the side where the ball was coming from. Maybe just gave him, and then just a body check, I think. Nelson wasn't firm enough. But I agree with you, George. You'd want your striker to really get on the end of that one. And as a coach, you'll see that as a chance that should have been converted.
Yeah, and a player of his caliber, he will tell you that if he got that chance again, he would score. So,
and I wouldn't doubt him on that.
Yeah, Molynes missing a chance, missing an opportunity created by Trevante Stewart's hard work down this right hand side. Anyway, they come again, Molynes United. Oh, looking for Pringle, but not on the same wavelength. And Hyatt's booming long kick once again. Andre Thomas, lone striker's role today.
I think that's definitely a ploy for them. They've done it 2 times here, and with Thomas being that striker up front, what we find is Bailey's quick to join in to see if he can win that second ball, if Thomas can head it in his path. So their means of getting up the pitch is by a long ball, varying their type of attack, this Dunbeholden team, because we know they can possess the ball quite well.
Winter into Sutherland, back to Winter, making progress down the left. Livingston has been quiet so far this game. Rashawn Livingston usually involved in much of what Molynes do attacking wise, especially down the left hand side of their attack. But either he's been well shackled so far today, or he's not demanded the ball enough. A player of his ability needs to demand the ball. Almost intercepted from Dijon Grant's pass, but Winter breaks out of defense for Molynes. Stewart's first touch is good. Sutherland goes for an effort on goal. It took a skip, and for a moment there you thought Damien Hyatt was in trouble, but he watched all the way, the big goalkeeper.
I think he was concerned as well, and a dip in front of the goalkeeper, always a concern, always a troubling moment for them. But good shot there, just dipped in front of him. I don't think Hyatt was quite sure where that far post was, and really had all his interest.
Long ball from the back. Thomas's header. It's in the wrong direction, but this is Powell for them in midfield. Under pressure from Sutherland though, and referee Tumming says it's a free kick to Dunbeholden. 13th minute of this contest. Both teams had their noses bloodied last time they played in this competition, played in this league. Let in 4 goals in both those games.
I think it was more surprising to see Molynes go down 4-1 to Mobay United. I think Waterhouse, based on their form, you can see a little bit why and what happened to Dunbeholden, but 4 goals let in by Molynes against Montego Bay United, and Montego Bay United also missed a penalty in that game, so it could have been worse.
Yep. Azim Matali Grant missed from the penalty spot for the boys from St. James, and still they had too much for Molynes. The ball bounces once, Bailey tried to get on the end of it, but strong defensive play from Thomas, with him all the way. Thomas was, and the defender fouled in the end.
Yeah, it was good defensive work from Thomas. That's what you want from your defender. And Bailey, as you spoke, George, early, that you can't fault him on effort, and certainly if Thomas had given up there or just relaxed, you feel Bailey would have nipped around and gotten something on that.
Yeah, Ronnie Bailey, full of running. One of those players who leaves every game tired because you can't fault him for effort. As I said, it's just his use of the ball that I have an issue with, and I'm sure it's the same thing for his coaches. McCoy's clearance is awkward. Taylor trying to settle under it. And it's a foul on Phillips. Taylor is down as well, so 2 men down for Dunbeholden. Phillips seems to have been struck in the face, and the Taylor seems to have a problem with the midriff. And Tummings calls for help from the sidelines, and he's going to have a word with Pringle, telling him to cool it.
I think both teams really sprightly in the opening 15 minutes here. Yeah, I think really high boot, and that could have been a yellow card. Referee there just giving the caution, seemed to trying to control the game just by comments on that occasion, but certainly was very high boot in that mid-rib area.
On the point of referees, I'm interested to know, who do you think is the top local referee? Or am I asking too much of you?
No, you're not asking too much of me. I have my opinion, of course. And some may say because of where he's from, but not the case. I think based on his assignments and his performances, I think Daniel Parchment has risen to certainly be in the conversation of being one of, or the top official in the island as well.
Not a bad selection. That Parchment, I think, is a top man, and as you say, the assignments don't lie. I'd put a Shade Nation right there as well.
Exactly, yeah. Wouldn't disagree with you on that.
Yep.
No more.
McPherson spears this one into the box, looking for Thomas, and he rises high above Winter. A severe height disadvantage Winter is at compared to Thomas. Thomas beat him to the header, but he couldn't direct it well, couldn't control the header anyway, and it went harmlessly high. I think he mistimed his jump badly though.
Yeah, you've given top marks for effort on that one. But the execution of his jump just off.
But situational awareness, Dwight, you should know that your opponent is shorter, so you could take some more time over the header. He approached that as if he was going up against a big centre half.
He got a bit excited when he saw it coming. Perhaps. And just want to get on the end of it. Not as composed as you want your striker to be.
Yep. And while we talk about Parchment and Nation, I mean, I can't recall many days that I've seen, as we see this foul on Thomas, I can't recall many days I've seen when Odette Hamilton hasn't had a good game.
I was about to say to you, you think there's no contest for the top female official?
No. There's daylight between her and the rest. Yeah, I can't recall seeing her in any competition, and we at Sportsmax, we would know because we've done scores of games with her. So I've seen her on Monday nights, Sunday afternoons, midweek, schoolboy football, Jamaica Premier League, and yeah.
I think what I like about her is her assertiveness in game, in terms of how well she controls the game.
Taylor, crucial block there. This is McPherson for Dunbeholden. Phillips was in the midfield this afternoon, asked to do the creative bit that Christian and McCarthy would have done, both been on the bench this afternoon. This is Dice. Played forward, Thomas gets the run on Grant, had his shirt tugged and he goes down. Must be a free kick. Does Tummings produce the yellow card? No, he doesn't. Lenient started the game from Doyle Tummings. Pringle could have gone into the book for Molynes, and Dejon Grant could have gone because he had a handful of DeAndre Thomas's shirt for a spell there.
I think that's where you talk about referee. That's stopping what they call a stopping a promising attacking play. Should have been a yellow card.
Williams says this in, and Harris meets it with 2 fists with Kimoni Bailey getting in his line of sight, but not enough to put off the goalkeeper.
I think Harris was looking to catch that one, but Bailey really caused him to change his mind at the last minute. There's been a nuisance there in the box, Bailey. You see Harris here just looking as if he's going to collect. Then he decided to punch. Didn't get the purchase on it because it's a late change of mind. Bailey, as we say, can't repeat it enough, will give you a lot of effort.
Strong play by Trevante Stewart, and he has to be to hold off Andre Dice, who's a big man. Trevante Stewart is all muscle. Did well on that occasion. Anyway, in the back, Molynes have it. Nelson has come deep. Oh, lovely turn to fool 2 Dunbeholden men, send them in the wrong direction. Pringle to Sutherland. Sutherland over the top, flicks a scoop pass for Stewart, but Dice is with him all the way. And Bailey tracks back and helps out his defenders, Kimoni Bailey. Phillips in midfield to Thomas. Back to Phillips. Needs a pass. And comes inside. Powell.
Yeah, I think Bailey was disappointed. He felt he had made the run and had the space to operate.
To be fair to Phillips, he was being tracked, Bailey, and I'm not sure Phillips fancied him in that contest. Phillips pops this over the top, looking for Thomas off the chest. DeAndre Thomas! Wow! That whistled by the right-hand post. A tremendous effort from the Dunbeholden striker, taking it on the chest and on the volley. Wow!
And that would have eclipsed, I feel, safest goal of the season. That one was taken down expertly. I know Molynes, they're complaining that he used a bit of the arm to do that, but I'm not quite sure. We'll see here whether or not that was a part of it.
Yeah,
from a distance it looked that way.
Forearm, there's no doubt about it. There it is, yeah.
But certainly it seemed as if he would have gotten away with it, because didn't see a call from any of the officials, and nothing from Tommins. I think it was Denton on the far side there, but certainly looked good.
Here he is once again, DeAndre Thomas, he shoots! And he whistles again by the right-hand post. 2 sighters for the Dunbeholden striker. And the Molynes United defenders having a press conference. The hand claps are going. They're trying to G each other up, trying to get concentration going, because they're at 6s and 7s. 1 striker Dunbeholden are using, and he's making the lives of the Molynes United defenders hard.
I give Dunbeholden credit too, because although he's the lone striker, they're having the transition. Players are really getting up behind him. Bailey is one of those players who are always in close proximity to him, along with Smith, the captain there, who is certainly giving some support to him up front there, Thomas. But certainly should have hit the back of the net already based on the opportunities he has gotten so far in this game.
Here they come once again, Dunbeholden. Thomas fighting with his namesake, and Thomas and the Dunbeholden Thomas fouling the Damien variety. Where's number 17 from Mount Pleasant? From Mount Molynes United, rather.
I have to say, George, one of the feature, a good play from Thomas here is his ability to find those half spaces, and that's what he's creating the problem for this Dunbeholden defence line. That half space is very difficult to deal with the centre off and the wing back. By the time they make their mind up as to who's to go, the striker is already there picking up the ball, and Thomas is expertly using that space so far in this game.
Pringle finds himself in a crowd and does well to extricate himself. Oh, lovely pass played for by Stewart. It was Stewart with effort that was blocked by Damien Hyatt. The pass to him from Sutherland, and Trevante Stewart, almost as if he just got a toe on it, but not a foot forceful enough to direct it around Damien Hyatt, who's a big man. And that was a chance for Molynes United, and you can see Trevante Stewart now rehearsing what he should have done but didn't do.
Yeah, it was a perfect good opportunity. We were just talking about the half space, but good vision there to pick him out by his teammate there, Sutherland.
It's almost as if Trevante Stewart just got studs to that rather than the toe poke he was attempting, and that's why the ball didn't run through forcefully enough.
The advance in Hyatt, I think, put him off.
Yeah.
But Sutherland's pass, and that's, you talk about vision, because he played the pass as it came to him. It's a one-time pass. He must have seen the run or the space before, and that's all about field awareness.
Here's a tank, Javon Brown in the midfield for Molynes. To his captain, Nelson, who a feature of his game so far this afternoon, how deep he has come to get possession and start his team playing.
He does that regular, George. I saw him last season a lot doing the work in the Premier League here, and always tends to come deep and create a little number up in the middle of the park. I think Molynes are mindful of Dunbeholden's superiority in terms of talent you feel in the middle of the park. So I think Nelson is just trying to create numbers up for his team and give them a better chance of competing in the middle of the park.
Livingston after this. McPherson calmly out to Taylor. Inside to Phillips. Phillips can't get there though. But Taylor gets another chance. He was told to relax by Phillips. Didn't have to do that, and Dean Andre Thomas is upset with him. I mean, he acknowledges the mistake, young Taylor, that he should have shown more composure. Harrison sends this forward, but it only goes out for a throw to Dunbeholden.
As you talk about Taylor, they're young and that rashness in terms of playing upfield. In yesterday's game where we saw a good quality defender from Mount Pleasant in Lane, we talk about how calm they are when they win possession. Himself and
Kevin Lane playing with Ladale Ritchie in the back.
Ritchie also showing that calmness, and I guess it comes with experience.
Winter went on a sprint, but he was shut down by two Dunbeholden men. Smith in midfield, he gives it away though to Tyreek Sutherland. Out to Livingston, who switched to this right hand side to get in on the action. His pass, it's Taylor and it goes out. It's a throw to Molynes United. So an even battle, both teams having chances that they should have put away. Nelson had a sharp chance that he couldn't really make the connection with Trevante Stewart's pass. The Stewart had a shot that should have been a strong toe poke. It runs off Stewart out for a corner. Should have been a strong toe poke, but it only caught his studs as he was trying to preserve himself from being hit by big Damien Hart. And Dean Andre Thomas has had a pair of chances that he hasn't bagged.
I think one thing Molynes need to do too is that once Hyatt has the ball, they must look for that quick service out. That direct ball up to Thomas has been a feature of the play for Dunbeholden.
Yeah, they've been doing route one really well, the St. Catherine team. Oh, Smith running into Javon Brown, and can I tell you, he didn't come off. He was third best in that two-man challenge. That's how strong Javon Brown is.
You say Brown is equivalent to two players.
Yes, Sutherland. Early pass blocked. And this is Duar over the top to Thomas once again. That long ball again that Dunbeholden have been looking for all afternoon. Pringle gets in, but met again by Duar. And the danger snuffed out for the moment. Tumming signals, water break. So describe what you've seen for us so far, Jeremiah, in these first 26 minutes.
I think both teams really going for the win. They believe this is an opportunity for them to get into the win column or get for Dunbeholden back into the win column, and for Molynes to register their first win of the season. And I think it's an open contest. Both teams looking to get forward very quickly. For Dunbeholden, looking for route one most of the time. Molynes looking to have a steady build-up, methodological build-up they're looking for with their play. I think looking to nullify Dunbeholden in the middle of the park, Molynes, with Nelson dropping deep. So there's some tactics to it as well, but certainly an open play from both these two teams.
Do we credit Peter Harrison, the Molynes goalkeeper, for Dean Andre Thomas's strike, the one with the arm? Because I was wondering, this is the long pass, beautiful pass, bypassing everybody from Phillips, and then the handball, and I'm wondering if the goalkeeper's positioning had anything to do with him in going across, missing the target in total, or if it was just bad shooting.
I think it was just his shooting. He just swiveled and shoot. It's just a striker thinking, knowing where the goal is, just looking to swivel and shoot, and that action just dragged it wide, and there's getting some instruction probably how to improve on that. But he's gotten other opportunities which wouldn't have any question of handball or any infringement, that he should have hit the target with dragging his shot wide. So I think on the evidence of that, it's his technique that in terms of dragging wide for Thomas. But I think he's going to get a lot more opportunities based on his movement.
So in terms of the coaches, you would think that the Molynes United coach would be more concerned because his team have allowed a lone striker to get two sighters at goal unchallenged in and around the 18-yard box, and you think that the Molynes coach would be saying to his defenders, you need to get your act together, even though it's still 0-0.
Yeah, I'll always say that with one strike up there, my defenders, one has to be picking him up all the time, one has to be marking, because we will still have 2 defenders free. That's not happening for them, and it's a problem that they'll have to work out. Maybe we'll see whether or not with this water break that is often used as a tactical session for coaches, whether or not they would have addressed that.
Sutherland skips away from Bailey. Can he cross? Yes, he does. Booming cross with the left foot, and Livingston was trying to get onto the end of that. Hyatt beat him to it. Long ball. We've seen that already. Falls for Thomas on the chest, under pressure from McCoy though, and it's a goal kick in the end.
Yeah, I think Thomas on that occasion really didn't. I think it came down off his head. Didn't really control it with the chest. So it ran away from him. Wasn't able to cushion it as he would have desired. But again, that long ball upfield, I know we saw Stewart trying to prevent Hyatt from making that long ball. And again, credit to Molynes there. They've recognized that, and the front men in terms of Stewart will have to do his job to prevent Hyatt from going long before they organize themselves, Molynes.
Livingston gave it away under pressure. Taylor to Phillips. Composure to McPherson. Livingston runs back at him. Does very well, does Livingston. Finds Sutherland. Grant. Forward to the strong Stewart, who's fouled by Andre Dice. This has been a good battle so far today. Dice, the veteran, giving the youngster some words of encouragement. Not.
I think on that play though, Dice just got a little bit excited. I felt he could have, he knew Stewart was going to get the ball, and in defending we say no get, no turn, no shoot. So you still had 2 things to prevent him from doing, and could have allowed him to get it. Just don't allow him to turn or to pass to your goal. Just have him pass back, and half your job would have been done there for the experience, Dice.
So Livingston with this free kick, whips it in, headed away by McPherson. Winter hunts it down, gets there, forward to Sutherland. Robbed by Dean Andre Thomas, who's driving forward without help. Dean Andre Thomas and his run halted by Damian Thomas. But referee Tumming spotted a foul, and he's going to book somebody. He's going to book Winter. So the number 15 man, Tyrese Winter, goes into the book. Mr. Tummings felt some unsportsmanlike conduct.
You can't fault him. He has been lenient throughout this contest, looking to go with just trying to calm players down, but he feels it's about time that he really exerts his authority on this game.
Dwayne Smith off the chest, turns away from Javon Brown, bursting into the box. Smith, he goes down. The appeal from the Dunbeholden players, well, at least Williams appealed, and Tummings doesn't even do him the courtesy of looking at him.
That was a beautiful turn though from Smith. Lovely turn inside the box there. Gave himself just with that turn. Yeah, just get away from Brown. And tangling off the legs. Not quite clear there. We'll have another look here.
That's a foul for me.
I think it is. I think
for
it is,
me, that's
George,
a foul. I'm sorry.
because it's the back of the leg of Smith that was hit. I was looking to see if Smith's leg went in front of the defender, but it was the defender. Yes, Smith's leg went in front. The defender hit him on the calf, and you're right. Should have been a penalty.
There is nothing that Smith could have done to have prevented himself from falling, because his legs were kicked out. His leg was kicked.
Yeah, his leg was in front.
It's
not like we've seen sometimes where defenders or the attacker kick the leg of the defender or leave his leg dangling for the defender or going towards the defender to initiate contact.
This is another angle, Dwight. So he turns away from Brown, tries to sprint away from Thomas, and look at this. No, that's a foul. That's a penalty. I'm sorry, Mr. Tummings missed that, and his assistant should have helped him on that far side, because that's what the assistants are for, to see things that the referee, based on positioning and the bodies of the players in front of them. Yeah, that was a clear penalty.
I think a lot of times these assistants say if the referee's in a perfect position to make the call, they don't intervene, but I certainly think you're there as the assistant, you should intervene, especially when you see it that clear. And the referee, if given enough evidence by the assistant, should and would change your mind.
Yeah, so Damian Thomas got away with one for the Molynes United defenders, and if Dunbeholden lose this or draw, I'm sure club officials watching the game on replay will have cause to feel very aggrieved at them being denied the chance to take the lead at this point in the first half. Anyway, back to live action. And Powell back to Phillips. Outside to Taylor. Has Bailey in front of him. Comes direct midfield to Thomas. Good flick to Smith. Back with Taylor. Big cross looking for Bailey. Winter is there with him and all the way through to Peter Harrison. Looking for Pringle to pick him out with that pass, but intercepted by the man sliding over there, Duar. This is Trevante Stewart. Into the path of Nelson. Nelson couldn't get around McPherson though.
Yeah, just ran away from Nelson there. That first touch was not in the direction he desired to have it.
Smith, only Thomas in front of him, and he's fouled by the backtracking Sutherland. Was that a good game for Molynes United, their number 6 so far?
Yeah, doing his work in front of shielding the back 4 as much as he possibly can.
And he's creating as well. It was his potential. Well, he created the chance that Stewart couldn't finish.
Yeah, certainly, that's a good tracking back. Some would say a good foul to give away, but just reaching from behind, got the ball.
Duar burst into the box and felt he was fouled, but referee Tummings saying that he was the transgressor. He goes down, Sean Duar. Seems as if he was struck in the face. Struck in the face. '35th minute. Molynes United and Dunbeholden, their 5th meeting at this level. Dunbeholden lead the head-to-head 3-1. The Humberland boys behind the Molynes United goal have been sat there for the past 20 or so minutes just watching proceedings. Their game against Cavalier coming up next. Bailey has gone a long way back. 55% of the possession controlled by Molynes in this game, but the better chances have fallen to Dunbeholden.
I think it's because of the style of play that both teams have employed in this one. Dunbeholden has chosen to go direct a lot of times, so the number of passes to get into the final third much less than that of Molynes.
Here's Smith inside to Bailey. Oh, Bailey takes a touch of Bailey! It's saved by Peter Harrison and cleared by Sutherland.
There's a good chance again for Dunbeholden. I think Bailey's connection wasn't quite good enough, not far enough away from the goalkeeper, and nor having the power as well.
And you know why? Because it was a right foot. He's a left footer, so it was weak off his least favoured foot. Thomas turns away from 2. Still Thomas goes over, fouled by Pringle. And the Tummings awards the free kick to Dunbeholden.
I think Thomas' ball handling skill has been very good this game. Really, once he gets it and turn. Yes, as we see there, Bailey just falling away too at the same
stretching,
time. Yeah, so didn't get the connection nor the power to beat Harrison in goal. But nonetheless, that's a big save for Harrison.
So this is Williams. Floated in, and the header goes up. You are overhead kick by DeAndre Thomas is blocked. Hold on, Dunbeholden haven't scored yet. Nobody knows. Stewart, meanwhile, for Molynes, wins the ball in the midfield. Nelson back into the space for Stewart. Hyatt comes, Hyatt clatters Stewart. It's a free kick to Molynes United, and the Dunbeholden keeper is hurt, and he's going to be in trouble with Mr. Referee.
Yeah, both players going, just having eyes for the ball, both of them. Maybe Hyatt would have been in a better position looking at the striker coming towards him, but it's a big clash, and I would say the keeper coming out. Let's see. Yeah, certainly a yellow card, you feel.
Well, let me tell you, this is the chance by DeAndre Thomas. McCoy didn't know anything about it. It struck him, but guess what? He was in the position to block the effort. Acrobatics, and that was destined for goal. Peter Harris would have had a really, really tough job saving that. But McCoy was tall and in the path of that shot. to block it. I tell you what, Dwight, I didn't know if you did. I heard that collision, the impact. Blam!
It was a huge impact there. Two big fellas, I must say. And they say if two cars are going at 30 miles per hour, the collision will be felt at 60 miles per hour. Certainly that was big impact there, George. But the covering defender there is what saved Hyatt from getting a red. Certainly he had cover behind him. But might have been slow to react there. But it was a good break in transition there from the Thomas attempt on goal. Give Molynes credit, because they were up the park with about 3 passes and looking to create an opportunity, having just saved themselves from going behind.
Well, Hyatt gets the yellow card for his troubles. And 2 men on the pitch you wouldn't want to clash with. Well, 3. Andre Dice in defence for Dunbeholden, Damien Hyatt in goal, and Trevante Stewart. The man is all muscle. And Hyatt is a big man, I'm sure.
You could add Brown to that one as well.
Well, yes, he's a smaller man, but he packs as much punch as those big fellows. But yeah, Trevante Stewart is not a man you'd want to mess with physically. It's 27 yards, the distance between where the ball is spotted and the goal line. Let's see, Nelson and Stewart having a conversation.
Fancy Nelson. Yes. Seen him score some good free kicks in the last season in Premier League as well.
It's a 4-man wall. Rather 5-man wall now. 4-man wall. That Nelson! He hits the crossbar! And Hyatt gathers the rebound.
So often you say the crossbar and the upright is the goalkeeper's best friend.
For sure.
That occasion, I think Hyatt left it to his best friend, just felt he couldn't do anything.
Very unfortunate for Thomas there. Nice, oh, lovely by McCoy. Absolutely good football from the Molynes United centre half. Just turned Andre Thomas all the way around and left him for dead.
I think Hyatt was beaten for sure.
Yes, he was.
But yeah, composure shown by the defender there.
Bailey in familiar territory down this left-hand side. Under pressure from McCoy. Bailey. Dancing, weaving through 2 players. Kimoni Bailey gets away. Still Bailey fighting and loses out eventually. Nelson under pressure. Turns away from Phillips and sends Trevante Stewart free. Here goes the big Molynes striker. Can he find a pass? Stewart trying to sort his feet out. And McPherson nips in and knocks it behind for a corner.
I think Stewart really, by his second touch there, gave McPherson a chance and he took it. Really not good handling there. Should have kept his body between the defender and the ball. Just brought it a little too close to him, McPherson, and he took the advantage and just played that one out. But still danger lurks as Molynes will look to take advantage of this corner kick.
Still a young man, Trevante Stewart, only 21 years old, so still learning this game. As we see Livingston with his corner near side to his captain, Nicholas Nelson! And it may have hit Phillips in a very sensitive area. And he's, didn't catch him flush.
And I don't think it had the power in the end to hurt, although it's a delicate area.
Well,
But Nelson's attempt on goal, give him credit there. He knew it was an acute angle, just go the other way to open up their goal.
Livingston again, this time to the back post. And it's headed away. Brown puts it back in. Stewart wanted to strike the volley. Stewart kept it alive, and Dice helps it away for Molynes. Strong forward, centre forward play by Thomas once again. Lost his footing at the crucial moment though. And Molynes come again. McPherson into the midfield to Phillips. Smith. Lovely touch by Smith. Waiting for support he is. Smith pushed over by Brown and loses out, and referee Tumming says free kick.
And he was losing his balance before. I don't think there was enough force on that one. Smith expertly buying that. But I certainly love the work rate of Thomas. I think he's really led the line well here for Dunbeholden.
Yeah, his play deserves a goal. What deserve has nothing to do with it. The Thomas's clash there, and the Andre complaining, the Dunbeholden variety, that he really didn't foul Damien, the Molynes United number 17. I can't believe this game is still 0-0 for what we've seen up front created by both teams. But that's where we are, folks, 0-0 in an entertaining game here in the JPL. Phillips.
And I think these two teams really have not shown a lot defensively. Not sure if it is the defensive play of these two teams or a poor finishing that has led to this game still being at 0-0. I could think it's a combination of both.
Yeah, McCoy was in the way of a volley that looked to me to be a certain goal, and then DeAndre Thomas's finishing hasn't been precise, although he's done great work to get himself in those positions. So I'm more leaning to poor finishing, my friend. Meanwhile, Taylor is set free down this left-hand side. Livingston is closing him down, and Livingston goes across and wins the ball, says the referee. No foul on the play.
I think Taylor is not one for speed, was really struggling all the time.
Yeah, I was almost tempted to call a taxi for him.
Would have probably reached here before he got to the ball.
Yeah, Livingston closed him down easily. Nelson, meanwhile, runs onto this loose pass inside to Stewart. Trevante Stewart, it was behind him. Still Stewart. Pringle drags it. Pringle blocked by Hyatt. Pringle again, and it misses. It's still 0-0, and I can't believe it.
Well, George, you just said you were leaning towards poor finishing. Well, there you got it. It was players trying to sort their feet out. A goal gaping, can't really make good contact with the ball. It was all happening there, comical at times, because that ball into Stewart there, really struggling to find his feet out, inadvertently got to his partner in crime up there, and in the end, just a rash attempt on goal. And certainly, you felt that occasion Pringle ought to have hit the back of the net. A second opportunity come to him, and again, no composure. Had also the option to find Nelson in the middle of the goal, couldn't do that. Certainly bad decision in the end, because if you hit at goal from that position and not finding your striker in the middle of the goal, the only way you can justify that is to score.
Yeah, two players down. Meanwhile, Taylor holding a very sensitive area, the Dunbeholden left back, and Pringle has a foot complaint. The only problem for Molynes United on that play, Dwight, is that they'd want the roles to be reversed. They'd want the man to be on the end of the man on the end of the chance to be Nicholas Nelson. Maybe we'd be talking about a different thing rather than how bad a miss that was.
Yeah, it was a poor miss. And Nelson would have
I'm sure he would have finished that.
Yeah.
As we see 2 minutes added on to the end of these 45. Again, my friend, how is this game 0-0?
Well, you said it, George. Poor finishing, and that was the certain example of it presenting itself just seconds after we were debating what was the reason why this game was 0-0.
Livingston has switched to this right-hand side, and Trevante Stewart was both clumsy and skillful in the same play, because he failed to drag a Nicholas Nelson pass with him. Oh, Sutherland is kicked right in front of the referee by McPherson, and McPherson, naughty boy, will go into the book. An action-packed first half, but we've yet to see a goal, as Sutherland is having a roll around on the pitch.
And really, Dunbeholden won't want him to be badly injured, because he has done a good job shielding the back.
You mean Molynes?
Molynes, rather, because he has done the job as a holding midfielder. We often say as coaches, break up and distribute is your job. He's certainly been breaking up the play, and as you mentioned earlier, George, distributing quite well. Linking the defence to the attack, or the midfield to the attack. He has done that well for Molynes.
Yeah, out of character for McPherson to make that kind of tackle, but he seems to have been riled by something else. And let's see the tackle. He goes through. Yeah, you follow through there. That's a yellow card every day. Yeah, it's not that the follow through and he could have eased out. He followed through with the foot, so he followed through with the intention to kick.
Yeah, intention to kick, certainly. He didn't have to follow through that way. Put it that way, George. I think intentional, just carrying that trailing leg.
So the defensive assignments being handed out by the Dunbeholden boys, recognizing that the halftime whistle is drawing close and they don't want to give up a goal at this time. This is Javon Brown, left-footed free kick inside the box. Stewart goes up and he barges into the back of it. Looks like well, that's not Powell. That's Taylor. Yes, unfortunate Taylor once again. And Trevante Stewart jumps and comes through your back like that. It's almost like a truck hitting you. And Taylor flattened by that. It's a yellow card to Stewart, because maybe referee Tummings is saying that was dangerous play, that was reckless on your part, and the Molynes United number 9 gets booked.
Yeah, and I think the Dunbeholden players were calling out for a yellow card as well, the minute that the infringement occurred.
And no doubt Stewart having a say, and his captain pushing him away from the scene and pulling him away further.
Yeah, you don't want to get a yellow card for something you're saying. I mean, yes, his effort to try and get on the end of a ball as a coach, as a player, you can see with that, but not if he was to go on to get a second yellow for having too much to say.
Poor Taylor. Well, at least he's sitting up now, and not many things a bag of iced water can't cure in these parts. He's up and running once again.
And I think one of the reasons we've had such an action-packed game, not short on goal mount activity as we see there. Yeah, the knee, leading with the knee, that must be painful as well. And yes, we can see why the yellow card was shown.
Long ball once again, and on cue, referee Doyen Tummings has seen enough. It's been a good first half, action-packed opening half here in this Jamaica Premier League game, and somehow the finishing, as we see Dean Andre Thomas and Nicoy Christian having a little conversation there. I don't know how this game is still nil-nil, but nil-nil is what it is, and we eagerly await the restart to see what more is in the offing in the second half over the course of the second 45 minutes. Welcome back to the UWI JFF Captain Horace Morel Centre of Excellence, where we've had an entertaining first 45 minutes between Molynes United and Dunbeholden FC, but sadly for us, and I'm sure for you as well at home or wherever you are watching, no goals so far in this contest. A feature of the Dunbeholden game was the quick release by goalkeeper Damien Hyatt, and this is Dean Andre Thomas running through early. The pass intended for Kimoni Bailey. Thomas wasn't satisfied with Bailey's run, and then here they came again. This one, McPherson dallied with it, robbed by Trevante Stewart, who plays in his captain, but the touch was absent from Nicholas Nelson. Under pressure he was, but he was goal side of the defender. You expected better from a man who is so deadly in front of goal. Speculative effort from Tyreek Sutherland, and then lovely ball played over the top by Phillips. The arm controlled by Dean Andre Thomas, and on the volley, didn't miss by far, and then he caught this one, dragged it into the penalty, into the 18-yard box, and lashed it wide again. And then Stewart running through and couldn't get the toe poke. Smith playing in Bailey. He danced around Thomas, but stretching, didn't get any power on the shot. Williams flipped this in. The overhead kick by Dean Andre Thomas, blocked by McCoy with the chest. And then the free kick by Nelson off the crossbar. So you see, when I say action-packed, I'm not making it up. It was action-packed. Smith back to McPherson, but robbed by Nelson, and skillful and clumsy by Stewart in the same play. And Pringle, rush of blood at the last minute. He couldn't find his teammate and couldn't find the empty goal. And yeah, all factors conspiring to keep this game at 0-0. So 15 shots in the first half, both teams. There were 8 shots on target, 5 on target for Molynes, 3 for Dunbeholden. There were 2 yellow cards apiece, 12 fouls, and there was a situation where Molynes United controlled the ball for 55% of the half. Folks, if you've just tuned in, you want to watch the second half, because Dean Andre Thomas up front for Dunbeholden is putting on a lone strikers clinic. The only thing missing from his play so far is that goal. Let's recap the action from Sunday, where we had Waterhouse against Portmore United and the Battle of the M's, Mount Pleasant and Montego Bay United.
Damien Parchment, the man with the whistle this afternoon. It was Portmore that made the best early chance at goal, with St. Hilton getting clear here, but he's unable to steer this one on goal. And here's where goalkeeper Eric Edwards for Portmore idled with the ball too much. Fletcher gets in here, and Benbow finishes with a plum for his second goal in 2 weeks. Yeah, Eric Edwards here just needed to get rid of this ball quickly, wasn't able to do so. And Fletcher's accurate pass inside to Benbow is finished with a plum by the 26-year-old. Fletcher with 3 goals this season, on the assist here for Benbow. That's a happy man, having left Mount Pleasant in the off-season. James with a cross inside. Denardo Thomas with a finish from just about 8 yards. And Portmore in further trouble here as Denardo Thomas gets his first goal of the season and puts Waterhouse 2-0 up. An offside call here against Javon James as he was about to retrieve the pass from Benbow, slides the ball between the goalkeeper's legs for his first goal of the season as well. But he does well, the 21-year-old, and it puts Waterhouse even more firmly in control of this fixture. Delightful ball here played by Andre Fletcher, taken down well on the thigh by Benbow, and for the second time this afternoon the former St. George's College standout hits the back of the net for Waterhouse. And after scoring no goals last season for Mount Pleasant, hits 2 this afternoon, 3 in total now from match week 4. And is he happy or what?
First and foremost, I have to give God thanks, you know. We just have to just go out there and just enjoy the game most and just execute game plan that the coach give us the instruction.
Well, I didn't stay in class for lip reading, so you sent a message after your second goal. What was it that you were saying in the cameras?
No, it's like I'm just back home. We're always like talking about football, you know, so it's where I'm from, you know. So most of my friends them always cheer for the team that I play against since day. So it's that message towards my friend.
I have to ask you as well, what is it about playing for Waterhouse? You seem to have had a barren spell when you were wearing other colours, well, similar colours, but other places at Mount Pleasant. What is it about playing for Waterhouse that gets you going?
It's like a home, you know. So the guys welcome me home, and the coach and everything is like good there. So I enjoy every moment there.
Disagree. Neat pass inside here too. Green, who strikes the ball from just the edge of the box, away from goalkeeper Tummins, and that's a fine strike by Daniel Green. 3rd goal of the season, and Tummins couldn't get to it. Daniel Green celebrates here. Another good moment in Premier League football. Here's Green again, setting the ball inside for Sula McCalla. who just toe pokes the ball in goal. So Green a goal and an assist here. This time he's provider as McCalla nets his first goal of the season and puts Mount Pleasant 2-0 up on their Montego Bay rivals. Sigri does really well here, just sets himself up, and look at this strike. A bit of a deflection, gets some assistance there from Wellington, who stuck his leg out to try to block it. But Sigri's strike was firm, well placed. And Tummins couldn't get to it. Sigri gets his second goal of the season and is showing himself as a very, very influential left full back here for them. Sigri again here, sets the ball back. What a good dummy there from Alwyn Harvey, and slides the ball in for Cleon Price, who couldn't miss from there. Just about 2 yards in front of goal. Cleon Price gets his first goal for Mount Pleasant. Former Cavalier Harbourview man, Portmore as well. And Mount Pleasant, all of their goals coming in the first half.
Green, very good performance from you today. Started on fire. In terms of the game, was it a little bit in the first half? Was it much easier than you expected?
No, I didn't think it much easier, no. I'd say in the first half, we fight hard enough as a team. But in the second half, we kind of lay back and let the team come at us.
Were you disappointed yourself that you didn't get on the score sheet again in the second half? You got some good opportunities. Was that a disappointing part of your game today?
Yes, but I always say work hard and come again. We have the next game focus on, and that is the job we have ahead of us now, just the next game.
Back we are at the UWI JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence for second half action in this Jamaica Premier League clash between Molynes United and Dunbeholden. For all the excitement, for all of the incident in the first half, 0-0 is the story, and it's your commentator slightly incredulous that we haven't broken the deadlock in this game just yet. Dwight Jeremiah Hyatt being closed down by two Molynes United players, but taking the ball high, and Hyatt taking the ball high. And then this from Smith, back pass that went astray, and really Pringle ought to have done much better than this, you'd feel, Dwight. Yeah,
all he needed to do when you look at the play was just to go across goal to his skipper Nelson, who is much more better at finishing than he is. And as we see the attacking zones there for Molynes, they've certainly gone with more passes to go forward, and that's why we see them predominantly through the middle.
We're back on the way. Phillips in the midfield once again, reminding you that in case you're wondering for Dunbeholden, where is Nicoy Christian, where is Fabian McCarthy, both of them on the bench. It's a rejigged side that the coach has gone with today. Phillips usually a left back playing midfield today, and no Bygrave means that Dean Andre Thomas has been asked to play lone forward, and how well he has excelled in that role. But he needs that goal though to really put the seal on a big performance so far. Winter has Williams creeping up behind him, but sees it out for a goal kick.
And of the names you've mentioned, George, apart from Bygrave, who's out injured, certainly Christian and McCarthy are fit and ready to go. But because, as we heard from the coach, there are some individual plays that he's not pleased with, and if we were to read from his changes, those players might be at the heart of it.
Deshaun Grant has come a long way from his centre half position, but gives the ball away to Phillips. Thomas. Pass to Smith into the path of Thomas. Offside. Thomas applauds the effort from Smith as he curses somebody, maybe himself, or...
Yeah, it must be himself, because Smith didn't delay. He played that one time, so it would have been Thomas, who was just a bit too eager, so he went early.
There's Harold Thomas, the coach of Dunbeholden, and his midfield general, Nicoy Christian. No doubt plotting the route back into this game. This is Livingston! The toe, excellent interception by Damien Hyatt. Almost David De Gea-esque with the stretch and the toe block on that effort. Lovely turn by Bailey. He frees Dwayne Smith, but it's too much on it. Overcooked. Right idea, but wrong execution.
Yeah, perfect idea. Love the thinking there. As we see the opportunity here for Dunbeholden. Just needed that one to cut back a bit, but because he was stretching all the time, didn't make the right connection. He definitely had the intention to cut it back. Had he made a proper connection, you felt he would have played in one of his teammates there, Livingston.
Thomas at the back for Molynes. Forward looking for Stewart. Stewart has the run on Dice. Stewart. Dice gets a boot in front. Nicholas Nelson goes down and referee Tummings buys it. It's a free kick. I thought very clever from the Molynes captain. Didn't see much in that as a foul. The referee Tummings is closest to the action, and he felt that there was an infringement. I think Tummings has managed the game well, except for a foul he missed in the box in the first half against Dwayne Smith.
That's a big call though.
Yeah, massive call. So yeah, there's a substitution that's going to be made. Number 30 is going to come out for Dunbeholden. We're in the 49th minute. So I see 30 on the board.
To be Christian, who's going to be coming in.
Yeah, so Taylor looks as if he's going to come out. Had a few knocks in the first half. And at first chance, that's the substitution that Harold Thomas is going to make for Dunbeholden. Meanwhile, Nelson and Stewart over this free kick, and Dwight is going to say he fancies Nelson, and with good reason.
Good reasons as well. I don't think it's too close for him to get it up and down again. Just a touch maybe, but fancy him.
It's actually Stewart. Low! And it took a deflection, but that took the power off it, and easy in the end for Damien Hyatt.
I think it's the distance that might have just made Nelson feel as if it's best if he left it.
Thomas back to his goalkeeper Harrison, who was tested, really tested.
I think Harrison's position was the problem. He was advancing while the defender was under the ball. So yeah, going low, looking to be clever, just playing it under the wall as it jumped. but the ball did come down. It still touched a boot or two and just took the sting out of the shot.
Williams forward. And Winter allowed it to run on the line and sends it back to his goalkeeper. Harrison kicks it out to Grant, who's playing left back now. To Nelson. Nelson looks up, spots Stewart with the run. Dice goes with him. Stewart blows by Dice. Stewart! Side netting.
Yeah, that's what Stewart wants. That's exactly the type of thing he wants. Not the physical duels with Dice, but if he gets a run on him, knows that he has the pace to get past him. But you felt again the decision wrong. Going across goal might have been his best option, but beautiful ball down that channel into that half space by Nelson. And looking across there was his Pringle, who was thinking that maybe he would have been in better position, but maybe Stewart thinking on the evidence of what Pringle did in that first half, not so quick to set him free.
Yeah, well, they put 30 on the board up first, and then they took it down and put 31 up. So Adrian Williams comes out, and Nicoy Christian comes in to replace him. So one of the two midfield generals for Dunbeholden, who didn't start the game today, on the park now. That's Nicoy Christian. Fabian McCarthy still cooling his heels on the bench. Christian's first touch is robbed by Sutherland. Here they come. McPherson wide to Dwayne Smith. Back to Powell. Phillips now for Dunbeholden. Dewar. Bad touch by Dewar, and Pringle runs by him down the line. There's Pringle going. Still Pringle. And eased off with just a shoulder nudge from Dewar, getting back to rectify his mistake.
Yeah, that was a good, the bad touch just gave the defender an opportunity, and Phillips also coming across to provide cover, and really good defensive work that from Dunbeholden.
Pringle's ball forward to Stewart. Stewart is onside. Trevante Stewart, what does he do? Try to clip it to the back post, and it took a deflection. It's a corner kick. Deflected off Dewar, and Molynes will have a corner.
Yeah, on this occasion, Stewart looking to try and set up Livingston.
So Livingston will take this corner for Molynes. Goes to the back post. Sutherland goes up, but McPherson beat him to the header. And now Dunbeholden are breaking. McPherson still in possession. Smith in front of him. Bailey inside him. And he goes to Bailey. Does Bailey get it? Grant recovers, but McPherson still going. This is Nicoy Christian now. Into space for Dean Andre Thomas. Winter chasing him. Thomas will take his time. Finds Powell. Powell for Dunbeholden. Goes to the back post. Smith settles under it. This is McPherson. A fresh ear shot. Barely got contact on that ball.
I think McPherson was at fault on that break. Thomas had broken free while Molynes was looking to recover. Just needed to look up. I felt it was an easy opportunity for him, because when he picked it up, that's the first thing he should have done, is to look up to see if there was an opportunity to break in transition before they organized themselves. Molynes didn't do that.
Nelson fouls Phillips, and Dunbeholden have this free kick. Dean Andre Thomas lets it run for a bit. Thomas confronts him. These two have had a battle royal all day, and Damian Thomas comes out. But he was fouled by Dean Andre.
Yeah, that was good work from Damian Thomas here. Just when he pushed that ball, he just went across his path and certainly ensured that he initiated contact. And in modern day, once these defenders feel anything, the slightest of touches, then they go to the turf to be bailed out and given an opportunity to have a free kick.
Just looking across at the Dunbeholden bench, and Fabian McCarthy's busy putting his gear on, getting his gear together, as we see Dijon Grant getting treatment. So pretty soon Fabian McCarthy will enter the park, and Dunbeholden's two strong guest midfielders and two of the strongest midfielders in the league will be on the pitch together. He's at the end of the bench. To the right, and that's where he's getting his socks and his taping all together. Meanwhile, we're back with live action. Harrison goes long. Dice met it, but with the hand, did he? Or was he fouled?
Yeah, he said it's Stewart. Just gave him a nudge.
Okay. Duar takes charge. Forward to Christian. Christian waiting for the run of Taylor. Taylor took forever, but he got there in the end. And look at Nelson back defending for his team. Trevante Stewart now. Good touch into the path of Livingston. Here comes the Molynes boys. Livingston over into the path of Nicholas Nelson. Has Duar for company. Pringle wants a piece of it, gets it. Pringle under pressure to Brown in the midfield. Sutherland back to Pringle. Pringle over the top, looking for Stewart, and he did attempt to make connection with that ball, but maybe just flicked off the top of his head and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, he was just leaning forward to get in between the two defenders, but that was a good ball into the box from Pringle. And really needed a very good delivery, and it was, because there's one person to aim at, and he found him.
Winter battling well. And Christian takes charge. Under pressure from Brown. Christian, can he turn away? No, he can't, because he was fouled. And ball generalship being shown by Nicoy Christian, surrounded by 3 players, but still confident in his ability to protect the ball and turn away from the crowd. Wins a free kick.
So confident he was that he had Rashawn Taylor right in front of him and could have just played it off. Didn't do that.
Ball generalship, Dwight. Dice back to his goalkeeper Hyatt, who's been sharp between the posts for his team. The one time he was beaten, his crossbar came to his rescue. Smith under pressure. Duar back to Smith. Seems as if Taylor was punched in the belly. That's what he's alleging, and it's going to be a red card. Pringle, straight red card for Pringle. Oh, I'd love to see that again, because Taylor went down as if he was shot by a sniper.
If we could go back, I don't know, about a minute ago when Molynes was attacking, Pringle felt that he was held back by Taylor, didn't like it, had a flash out of the hand. I think he was just coming back now for a payback. Wasn't smart enough in doing what he did, and did it in the view of the assistant referee, but I think it's retaliation based on something that happened about a minute ago in open play when Molynes had their last attack.
Well, whatever the situation, John Christoph Pringle has been given his marching orders. He's not pleased. He went to remonstrate with the assistant referee on this near side, and referee Tummings is standing his ground. Young man, I've made my decision, please leave the field. And he's showing him, don't take the long way away. So that's what we saw, and we'll see it again, but yeah, it was a cheap shot. It was a cheap shot, and as you said, Dwight, just wasn't clever enough to get away with it. And referee Tummings to the back pocket, and that was it. Harrison gobbles this one up. So yeah,
I say to my players, if you want to do those stuff, then you have to be smart. You have to be smart in terms of doing it outside of the peer view of the referee.
So Taylor has recovered and he's taking this throw. So Molynes now down to 10, and it has spoiled the game that we've been treated to so far. I can tell you this has been a good game. I've seen games with more with goals. There haven't been any so far this afternoon. I've seen games with goals that haven't been anywhere as entertaining and competitive. This really competitive. Let's see what that does to the Molynes attacking thrust. Anyway, Dunbeholden have a man advantage. Here's Phillips to Powell to Taylor, the man who was sinned against. and caused Pringle to be sent off. Powell into the space, asking Taylor to motor, but Nelson has him cut off, and Nelson gives him a bump and then appeals to the assistant referee saying, you see what he did to me?
Not going to be enough for him to be sent off, Nelson. But yeah, you have to admire the body of work from Nelson as well. He's certainly up and down the pitch. He has certainly been working hard for his team.
So this is what happened. So look at Taylor down at the bottom of your screen, number 30. And look at Pringle. Look at what he does. Yeah, that's a punch to the stomach. A left-handed punch, right almost in the solar plexus. Aimed it dead center. That's a red card, son. Every day, all day.
All day long, and like I said, it's premeditated as well, because earlier the tussle they had.
And perhaps it's Pringle's inexperience, because I know experienced players, Dwight, wanting to leave something on your opponent. It's a palm, but you make sure that your hand is firm.
Yes.
So he runs into the open palm and you give him a nice firm push. But Pringle decided to add something to it and spice it up by balling the fist. And that was the problem.
With the same force that Zidane would have used his head in the World Cup.
Poor old Materazzi. Here comes Nelson though, losing the dribble. And Powell gives it away to Sutherland. Nelson. And now poor old Trevante Stewart is left to roam up front by himself, because Molynes are a man short. They have 4 substitutes warming up. Oh, Winter gets Stewart, gets in, nips it away from Dewar. Needs support though, Trevante Stewart. Stewart waiting on the support to come. Still Stewart, good turn. Fires it goalwards, and it's blocked by Damian Hyatt with Rashawn Livingston hoping to feed off the scraps, but there weren't any scraps.
So doing good there, Molynes, to be able to get an attempt on goal, being down to 10 players. They're going to have to be mindful that they don't commit too much and leave spaces behind.
McCoy waiting to get to that, and he did get to that. I really like the tactical deployment this afternoon of Kimoni Bailey. In the games we've seen him prior to today, he was played in an outside left position, so he was wide on the left, running as a traditional winger and making a nuisance of himself, running hard, getting into tackles, closing down defenders, but not using the ball well. His end product was poor, but today he's been given more of a central role, and he has played with more discipline, as we see Powell getting fouled in the midfield by Brown.
Yeah, a little more out to that traditional wide position now, George. But in the first half, you're right, really was more like partnering DeAndre Thomas most of the time.
Winter wins it. Oh, gives it away. That's poor by Winter, especially with the team a man down. And Bailey trying to get on it, but the man they call Rasta, McCoy, turns away from him, so the dreadlocks turns away from the Rasta, and Molynes are on the attack. Livingston brought down by McPherson. They're on the ground wrestling, and the referee needs to step in. McPherson needs to be careful. He's on a yellow card.
One thing you can't fault these two teams on, George, is the effort that they've put into this game. Sliding late there. As they say in the game, you don't have to touch the player, but both of them struggling to get back to their feet.
Yeah, McPherson was holding Livingston. That was clear.
But once you cause the player to lose the ball, with the player taking evasive action, then it's an infringement.
Ball whipped in. And I told you earlier that Molynes were warming up 4 players. Well, both teams are wearing the blue shorts and the bibs of the substitutes. Actually, Dunbeholden warming up 4 substitutes.
Yeah, you feel they're going to be doing that because they would recognize with the man advantage, they're going to want to be able to take advantage of it.
When you saw what happened at the back just now, the goalkeeper's back pass to his centre half, who was being closed down by Stewart and put it behind for a corner. So they have the man advantage, but they're not using it to good advantage so far. Meanwhile, Nelson has this corner for Molynes. Can they find the go-ahead goal? Put it away at the near post by Powell, so Nelson will have to do it again.
And when you're down a man, George, these are the moments where you see as your best opportunity to get on the score sheet from set plays. We know Nelson's delivery is normally good, so will always be a threat. You feel Molynes from set pieces in the attacking area.
Nelson's kick to the back post. Sutherland goes up at the back post, but he was just trying to redirect it to get it back into the mixer. fails on that score.
So really an opportunity here for Dunbeholden to get back on the winning column, and as I said, to separate themselves from the rest of the pack so that they can be in third place, currently trailing the pack, or trailing two outstanding teams in Mount Pleasant and Waterhouse.
Thomas, rear touch for him. Thomas is passed to Bailey, but it's too hard and Bailey couldn't control. Trevante Stewart up front, turning away from Dice. Wants a run, plays it into the path of Livingston, who has wheels. Livingston into the space, back into the 18-yard box, headed away by Dice. McPherson calmly takes it down and comes the other way for Dunbeholden.
I think it was a right intention from Livingston, because Dunbeholden had overcompensated to get that attack thwarted. Nelson was bearing down on the other side.
Christian to Dean Andre Thomas. Thomas goes for the shot. And Christian is upset with him because it wasn't his pass. The pass was aimed for Bailey, but Thomas got in the way and stopped it and went for goal. And Nicoy Christian was telling him that, well, brethren, it really wasn't your pass. That pass was for the Rastaman to the left of Dean Andre Thomas, and that's why Christian was remonstrating with Dean Andre Thomas to say you misread that, it wasn't for you.
Yeah, it's a situation where Thomas has been so lively in the game. He wants to get on the end of everything. Also because he feels that he should have scored from the first half.
He should have.
Yeah, and just maybe a little bit anxious or eager here.
But they haven't played him in as much in this first half, in the second half, as they did in the first half. So is it that they're not doing something right, or Molynes are doing something better on the defensive end?
I think because of the introduction of Christian, it has changed the dynamic.
Taylor whips this in, and Luke McCoy, Powell in possession. Thomas, who was robbed by Brown, and Brown's attempt at a clearance, and it finds its way in via Phillips. The Mario Phillips comes up with the opening goal. A game that had been crying out for a goal. It wasn't the cracker, it wasn't the classic, but they all count. Peter Harrison, there may have been a deflection or two as it passed through to his goal, but that man Harold Thomas won't mind. His team are in front.
Yeah, certainly a good opportunity there, and they took it. We felt it had gone, because in the box there it looks as if they couldn't get their shot off, and here you felt a toe poke would have sufficed, but once it came out he settled himself, and no deflection, just placed it expertly well, did Phillips. In the end, good finish by him. There you felt a toe poke would have caused it to go into the goal, and you felt the opportunity had gone. Poor clearance, and then good placement.
Yeah, kind of goal you call on the playground a bundle ball goal. It really came from that.
And there's something that stood out as well too, George, on that goal. Shortly thereafter, with the celebrations going on, Christian was in the middle of the park. I don't know what he was disappointed with. His team had just scored.
Yeah, he's a grouch, Nicole Christian, a bold general. Of that there's no doubt, but seems to be a fellow with a short fuse. It doesn't take much to displease him.
But you were asking too why Dean Andre Thomas wasn't played in more often in this second half, and I feel it's because the introduction of Christian. He wants the play to start, go through the middle. Dunbeholden was more direct in the first half, not with him inside there, George, as a ball general, as you call him.
Smith plays in Phillips. Can he get there? Winter shuts him down. Good job by Winter at left back. Oh, but it's given away by Thomas, and then he corrects his mistake.
And you beg to wonder now how this Molynes team is going to get back into this game. The better chances, of course, did fall to Dunbeholden in the first half. Molynes had their fair share of it. Stewart working as a lonester in the first half, joined by Nelson at times, but this time Nelson doing a lot of work in the lower part of the middle of the park.
Trevante Stewart has run himself into the ground. He leaves the field on this near side, and being replaced by number 31, O'Neill Small. So O'Neill Small coming in, and Trevante Stewart going off for a Molynes United team that are playing with 10 men.
I'm pretty sure if Molynes were to go on and lose this one, then they will, when reviewing the tape, recognize that they really were let down by John Pringle.
Yeah.
In the 69th minute.
Some coaches find their players for that. I mean, if you get a red card trying to do something to help the team, coaches will say, well, tough luck, it's just one of those things. But when you get sent off for doing something like that, coaches, some coaches are really, really unforgiving.
And one of those coaches, George, there's a charge for the red card and the player would have to pay it.
Here's Taylor, has a lot of space to work with. Goes for the cross. And easy for Peter Harrison. Quick restart for him, trying to hit his captain, but it's too long. From keeper to keeper. Coast to coast.
So I think what Molynes have done now, with that change, pulling out Stewart, they've pushed their top marksman upfield in Nelson to carry the line now. We know that he can play a snapshot, he can score a goal out of nothing. He's done a whole heap of work dropping back to help his team out. Now they're just asking him to find the back of the net.
Dice forward to Taylor. Taylor is suddenly seeing a lot of the ball on this near side, this right side of the Dunbeholden defense, and no pressure on midfield. Christian can flick it behind him and take an hour to turn, and it's still there. Powell wants a piece. Back to Dewar. Bailey now. Christian is hunting it down. He desperately wants to feel the ball and boot. Dice back to his keeper. So in the 72nd minute, Dunbeholden monopolizing possession. They have the man advantage, they have the goal advantage. And they're taking their own sweet time about this, inviting the Molynes boys, saying if you want this ball, you have to come and press us high. Hyatt goes wide to Christian. Midfield to Phillips. Phillips, a long ball out this right hand side to Dwayne Smith. DeAndre Thomas will want to burst into the box, and Winter sliding challenge gives away a corner. Well, it's actually a goal kick, the assistant referee says.
Yes, in the end, just came off the studs of Thomas. But Molynes certainly looking to be patient. They have the goal. They don't have to rush. Dunbeholden, that is. Molynes, you see a water break. Yeah. Molynes, they know they would love to hold the line and see if they could nip that ball off Dunbeholden. But Dunbeholden not really eager to go forward into that area where Molynes have dropped deep with number advantage. So Molynes had to push forward just now, and that opened up the opportunity for them to play the ball in behind to Thomas. Just that in the end, that his efforts were nullified there.
And I was watching Demario Phillips. He sprinted to the sidelines, and then was very hasty in taking off his boots, almost as if there were hot coals in his boots. And now he's putting them back on. He was the one who said to me in the first match of the season that the cure for the heat rising through this synthetic surface and burning the players is to wear 2 insoles. So by doing that, you slow down the conduction of the heat from the surface through your boot to your foot. And there was a tackle here. Brown went to clear, but Powell slid in, and it was Powell's slid tackle that caused the ball to go out to Phillips, and then Phillips struck it through, as you said, no deflection.
Yeah, had it not been that tackle from Powell, Brown's clearance would have gotten more distance.
Well, no. In fact, what I'm saying to you, I'm saying that Brown didn't get a foot on it. It was Powell slid in and towed the ball away, so Brown kicked fresh air, and the ball went out to Phillips. So Brown went to clear it, and Powell tackled him and towed the ball away, and that's how Phillips got it.
Okay, because it did look like he got just a little toe on it, but yeah, maybe not.
So we're back to live action. Referee Tummings has sent them on their way once again. But all things considered, though, Dwight, the Molynes performance has not been a bad one.
No, certainly not. I was thinking, how is it that, and to think of it, they did get a draw against Harbourview, lost narrowly to Vere. was really disappointing against Montego Bay United. But on the evidence of what I've seen here, certainly on what I saw of Mobay United yesterday, albeit against Mount Pleasant, shouldn't have lost so heavily. And certainly, before going down a man, didn't deserve to be behind, you feel?
Yeah.
But like they say in football, you don't get what you think you deserve, you have to go and take it.
Taylor, midfield to Christian, who plays Phillips, bursting forward. Still Phillips. Inside to Thomas. Thomas wants to work it on the right foot. Wider wide to Smith. Smith to Christian, who surveys the landscape, looking for that pass. Wide to Taylor. Taylor's cross is first time. And easy for Peter Harrison. I was watching Christian to see if he would have given him the glare.
We were doing the same thing, George, because I was fixated on him there, looking to see what his reaction was like. But maybe his fused is above, just above that current that went there. His temperament, he was able to deal with that just now, because he was instructing the player to take a different option.
Meanwhile, Grant puts this in. Nelson's control. Turning and firing out straight at Damien Hart, and not much power behind the effort from the Molynes talisman. Nicholas Nelson, ex of Hydel. Good player from a schoolboy, and now captaining this Molynes United team. And you know where our location is on Chalmers Avenue, Molynes Road. That's where Molynes' old base used to be, Dwight. So it's almost Portsmax's team.
Almost?
Almost. When we stand on the back of the property, we are looking at where they used to play their football for many years.
Okay.
Before they moved due to redevelopment issues down there.
So not fully backing them, just the fact that there's some history.
Yes,
that ties you together.
There's a tie. Taylor taking his own sweet time to get to this throw for Dunbeholden. And he's finally gotten there.
No fall.
Off the hand of Bailey, it would seem.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the hand of Bailey now.
And they're saying corner. That's why the Molynes boys are angry. They're saying it was a handball of Kimoni Bailey.
And the assistance was right there. Is not really, just like on the penalty call that was missed. This assistant here not intervening.
Christian in charge of this free kick. Goes near post met by Winter, and it's a throw. Going to be a throw to Dunbeholden.
And as it stands, George, that no call on the penalty. Not an issue, you think?
Not at this point. Do you sense though that the Dunbeholden team have been seeking to take the tempo out of the game from the moment they went one up?
Yeah, certainly doing that through the works of Christian. He has been dictating the play. And no need to rush it, you feel, because they're leading. He's just looking to manage the game.
Dean-Andre Thomas on the run. Dean-Andre Thomas, and he's robbed by Damian Thomas. Thomases have been having their personal duel all game. And Small leaves a flailing hand in the face of Demario Phillips, our goal scorer. Referee Tummings gives the free kick, and Small is apologizing, consoling Demario Phillips.
Yeah, I think he recognized that something could be coming, so he wants to make sure. He certainly can't do that with the flashing of the arm, and that should also be a yellow card. Yes, there was some pushing in the back, but he retaliated with the swinging of the arm, and when you do that, certainly a yellow card.
So 79th minute, and Dunbeholden in energy conservation mode, perhaps a man up and a goal up, as we see they're lining up two changes. Zelana Barnes and Fabian McCarthy are set to come in, as if Molynes didn't have enough problems. And we're going to show you why Molynes went down to 10 men. Keep your eyes on the bottom of the screen, number 30, the man Taylor. Look at Pringle, the Molynes man in blue, coming towards him. Taylor runs forward now, attempting the pass. And look at that left arm, and the fist, bam, in the chest. And that's as clear a red card as you'll ever see.
Yeah, certainly not properly disguised even, and happy it wasn't, because you certainly don't want that in the game. No need for that. As I said before, he felt he had to do it because of a previous coming together of the two.
So Javed Duncan enters the field for Molynes, and Sutherland goes out. And here's his first touch, Duncan, into the... Small missed it. And Taylor playing Christian. Christian to Taylor. Foul to Christian. Bailey. A more restrained performance from him this afternoon. And has looked a better player, I must say.
Yeah, certainly, and his use has been better. I know you were lamenting that he doesn't use the ball well.
But today he has.
Yes, much better today.
Powell out to... Well, Powell gets it from Christian. Goes back to centre half Duarte. Can Nelson pinch it? He was hearing after it, the Molynes skipper, but Small could have taken a touch, but he tried to play Nelson early. Smith back to Taylor. Taylor back to Phillips. Bailey has come deep. Taylor. Now those two substitutes I mentioned are walking to the fourth official for Dunbeholden to get their clearance to enter the fray.
Really frustrating for Molynes here. Can't really get a kick at the ball. And on cue, given away.
Dice trying to play Taylor in. Duncan back to Thomas, now Winter. Now robbed by Phillips though, who plays Smith and goes to Bailey. Bailey inside early to Christian. Is it too heavy? Yeah, McCoy stepped in and Smith slid in. But it remains Molynes' ball, so the advantage is played. Lovely by McCoy, being closed down by Thomas. Excellent by the centre half. Forward, who can't beat Taylor because Small would have been in. And Rasta does well for Molynes, but it's a throw to Dunbeholden.
Showing that he's the real McCoy. Really could carry there, good ball handling skill. Just looking to slid it through for Nelson. Was just blocked, but good footwork shown. Really going to be difficult. And the spectacle that we saw in the first half, George, really spoiled by Pringle.
Yeah.
Really, really. Because you feel with 11 on the park, we would have gone at that pace still.
Oh yes. So, Dwayne Smith coming out to be replaced by Fabian McCarthy. So 6 for 8, and then number 12 is going to come out as well, Kimoni Bailey. And Zelano Barnes is going to replace him, that's number 7. So McCarthy enters the fray, and there's Zelano Barnes, ex of Arnett Gardens. McCarthy's first touch to Phillips. Driving them forward already is McCarthy. Into the space for Phillips. Finding his range immediately. And Phillips under pressure from Grant. Grant has 2 bites at the cherry, and Grant muscular, but Phillips skillful, and the Dunbeholden midfielder penalised.
Yeah, he's just wondering how is that a free kick against him. Felt that the Dunbeholden defender was all over his back.
Being replaced by number 8, Fabian McCarthy.
I must commend the Dunbeholden coaching staff for deploying players in new positions this afternoon, and the players have played very well in those new positions. That's Harold Thomas, the man who has masterminded it, because Demario Phillips is usually a left back, has played superbly in midfield today and has the game's only goal, and Kimoni Bailey is usually a tear-away winger, but has played centrally this afternoon for much of the game and has looked a much better player in that position. So credit to the coaches for working on these changes in the time between today and their previous game.
Yeah, and showing that they have the versatility not to put up with stuff that they feel are not in keeping with the progress of the team. And that's what you want, your players to step up to the plate. And certainly those players you mentioned, Phillips and Bailey, have been certainly a good one.
Winter meets the head of Duar. Phillips got there. Dean Andre Thomas around the corner to Christian into the path of Phillips. Hasn't reached the 18-yard box yet. Phillips needs help. Across to Zalano Barnes on the left foot. He misses the left-hand post, left side of goalkeeper Harrison's goal.
Yeah, in the end it became a snapshot because in his peripheral vision, I think he saw the advancing Winter coming across to block the shot. Hurried him. Yeah, maybe just in his line of sight or line of vision. And in the end just dragged it wide.
Tell you what, if he weren't so heavily left-footed, maybe he could have done something on the right side, but
it's true.
Was always going to control with the right and flick it onto the left because that's where the power is for him. Meanwhile, speaking of power, Nelson goes from distance, apologizes to Small, who was to his left. But the captain must be feeling like one man against the world.
He's certainly put in a shift, you have to say, in terms of his effort, dropping deep, helping out in the middle of the park.
Yeah, he has played well this afternoon, no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure. He would love to top it off with a goal, giving his team a chance to share the points.
Here's McCarthy, forward to Phillips. Back to McCarthy. Two-time Premier League champion with Mobay United. Nice switch to Taylor. Forward to Barnes. Getting instructions from some of the cameramen. Can you imagine? Barnes doesn't see a pass he likes, comes back to Powell.
Well, the cameramen, they've seen a lot of football to be able to instruct him.
Well, they better have Eddie's shot when he calls for it. That's what they should focus on. Here's McCarthy once again. Powell plays it over to McPherson. Bad pass. McCoy gets there. Turns away from Thomas, and Thomas battling back and shoved over by McCoy.
I think McCoy realized that he lost it, and he recognized that he had the advantage physically. Decided to use all of that.
So since Dean Andre Thomas doesn't have a goal yet, how would you score the battle between him and his namesake from Molynes United, Damian Thomas? That's been a running battle from the first minute. As we see, the Molynes goal coach, will he be booked? Mr. Cummings is having a word with him, telling him to calm your nerves, man. Take some medicament and be easy. And remember me talking at the top of the game about how calm he was?
That's where I was supposed to go. I was just about to go, George.
Meanwhile, Dean Andre Thomas, his day is done, replaced by this man, number 27.
Substitution there for Dunbeholden, number 24, Dean Andre Thomas, replaced by Napoleon Rochester. Substitution, 87th minute.
So, named for one of the most controversial figures in history. Some say great. Napoleon of the Rochester variety comes in. Nelson can't get around McCarthy. Still going forward though, Molynes. Brown checks inside. Still Brown. Can't beat McCarthy with that.
I think Brown would have been better served to go to Livingston, I think, way out on the right side, just to open it up a little bit more.
Barnes off the outside of the left foot into space for Napoleon McPherson, but Rochester not reading the play properly enough. Grand forward to Small. Duar gets there before, but no, McCarthy shares it with Taylor. McCarthy, the captain of St. James High when they won the Costa Cup in 2008. And Taylor to Christian. Under pressure. Is he going to the corner flag? No. Plays it with Taylor. And it's a Molynes throw.
I think Taylor wasn't looking for that pass, maybe because of how Christian tends to hold on to it. There we see confirmation of Napoleon Rochester coming in for Dean Andre Thomas.
He shares it with McPherson. All the way back to Duar. McCarthy will call for it and he gets it. Can you believe, Dwight, that Fabian McCarthy made his name in this Premier League as a centre half? Here he's in the box. McCarthy! Whistling wide, right across the face of Peter Harris's goal. Was he attempting the shot, or was it a pass to Rochester, who was at that back post?
I would go for a shot based on the power and the way he reacted after kicking here, let loose by Christian. I think that's a shot.
Yeah. So as I noted, made his name as a centre half for Mobile United and St. James High. Had long flowing locks in his early years in the Premier League, and now he comes as a bald-headed central midfielder. He's gone the total transformation, Fabian McCarthy.
Well, I did say to you, it's all in the heart for the Rastas, so he'll still tell you he's a Rasta man. But yeah, he has made a change to the middle of the park.
Here he is once again.
Having seen the game from so deep for most of his career, being able to step into midfield and dictate the pace.
Yep, men from the West call him Ding. Christian into the path of our goal scorer today, Phillips. Phillips goes for the cross and it's met by the acrobatic clearance. Winter has it now for Molynes. Christian once again, Dunbeholden monopolising possession and control ever since they went a goal up and a man up. As we see 4 minutes of time added on to be played.
And you feel with 4 minutes, Molynes must commit a little bit more forward. It just needed simplicity there, and Small went for something audacious.
Rochester goes for goal, but gets ticked off by Christian this time.
It was never going to be too long before he got back to his normal ways.
Yeah, 2 men down for Dunbeholden. Seems to be cramp issues. Taylor is down with cramp, getting helped by McCarthy. And over on that far side, looks like Powell had a touch of cramp as well, but he's back to his feet.
Yeah, based on what they have exerted here, especially in that first half, not surprising for that. But I was saying, George, that with 4 minutes had it on, you feel with Molynes not yet in the win column, you feel they need to commit more players forward here. Losing by a goal or losing by 2, maybe not much difference at this early stage of the competition. You feel you can take the risk.
Well, usually you say when a team goes down to 10 men, especially when they've engaged the other team in a competitive game, that the referee spoiled the game by sending one player off. Well, we can tell you, the referee did not spoil this game.
All the doing of Price.
Pringle, yeah, young Pringle all by himself, and the young man will learn from it. But really disappointing to see him, and he was making a good, strong contribution to his team's play before that, doing something so silly and leaving Doyle Tummings with no choice but to send him off, and robbing his team of a needed soldier in the thrust for victory against this Dunbeholden team. Rochester. Phillips, Christian now. Can't dribble between Brown and Grant. McPherson wins it back, plays it back to Christian. Wants to go on a run. Brown goes with him. Rides that tackle, does Christian. Goes to Phillips. And Phillips loses out. Livingston on the run. Forward to Small, and Livingston was being fouled, says the referee.
Yeah, Molynes felt that they had the advantage. Small there felt he was away and would have preferred Tummins playing the advantage. But this opportunity also gives them a chance to overload up top.
Yeah, let's see how many men they coming forward. Brown and Winter are being asked to stay back. Well, Winter is now being sent forward, and only Brown back. So the goalkeeper, Brown and Nelson, the only Molynes men back of this free kick. Duncan also being sent into the box. Nelson with the free kick, last chance for Molynes, and it was met by Thomas, but his header went the wrong way. It's actually out for a throw to Dunbeholden.
Always embarrassing for players when you see they kick a shot and it goes for a throw, and a header there that goes back. Really, it's a bit too early, you feel. Swinging the head, but certainly not the proper connection.
McCarthy back to Dewar, and referee Tummings has seen enough. At the end of this contest between Dunbeholden and Mount Pleasant, Demario Phillips, your goal scorer. Fabian McCarthy, a second half substitute. McCoy Christian also a substitute in this game. But Dunbeholden had enough to conquer 10-man Molynes United 1-0. And that's all she wrote in this contest. A competitive game up to half-time. The second half was also shaping up to be another good battle. But Pringle's red card meant Molynes United were short-handed. Couldn't match Dunbeholden toe-to-toe, punch for punch, as they had in the first half. And in the end, they yielded, falling to Phillips's goal, Phillips's strike, 1-0. That's how Dunbeholden registered their third win of the season from 4 games. So the highlights of this contest. First half action, big kick by Hyatt forward to Dean Andre Thomas. Bailey to Thomas's right. Bailey screaming back post, but Andre Thomas would complain that the run wasn't good enough, and then Phillips popped this over the top. Look at this handball, but the ref didn't see it. And a volleyed finish by Dean Andre Thomas went wide, and then he had another chance as striker. Wide once again. Williams into the box. Overhead kick. McCoy didn't really know too much, but he got his body in the way. Then Nelson replied for Molynes. The ball kissing the crossbar. And Hyatt claiming high. And then Smith, his pass goes astray. And Nicholas Nelson races on to it. He has Stewart to his left. Stewart fails to sort his feet out, but does so eventually. Pringle, a round 1 challenge, but he can't beat the goalkeeper. And a second chance goes wide. And then a moment of madness from John Christoph Pringle, deciding to punch Rashawn Taylor, and he was given his marching orders. Taylor puts this one in. Powell can't shoot. Brown goes to clear. Powell toes the ball away. It comes to Phillips, takes one touch, rolls it under his studs to give him the swing, the full swing of the leg. And with that full swing, gets enough power on it, and the direction is more important. Look at the direction. Drifting away from the defender, drifting away from the goalkeeper. And that was the game's only goal. Demario Phillips and referee Tummings signaling the end to the contest. The vital numbers, there were 23 shots combined for both teams. 18 shots on target combined, 10 on target by Molynes. They lost, but they had 10 shots on target.